reign supreme, and our girl Jennifer Rinella. Yeah.
I'm not gonna get on my good side.
Woo.
I'm not gonna get on my good side.
You ready? Hey!
You're literally not gonna get on my good side.
There it is! Woo! Come on, Rinella!
As nice as you fucking...
No. All right.
Justin, are you ready for me to start?
Ready to go?
I'm ready to go.
Are you ready?
I was born ready, Rinella.
Yes.
Real Estate and Ramblings, episode 22.
Are you sure about that?
24. I don't even know what episode
It's been a while.
It's been a while. Wow, this year is flying by, Michael.
Fly, eagles, fly on the road to victory.
We cannot
fly, eagles, fly.
Nobody wants to hear
Score
you
a
sing the stupid
touchdown.
song.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Hit 'em low, hit 'em high, and watch our eagles fly. Fly, eagles, fly on the road to victory. E-A-G-L-E-S, Eagles! Still Super Bowl champs.
The only reason you're doing this is because you knew that part of my intro was going to be the fact that the Giants took one of two
I did
Eagles.
not know
You're lying sack right now.
I did not know that you would have left that embarrassing fact in for not me, but you.
It's not embarrassing.
Dude, your team is awful.
Can you stop derailing the intro and just...
You're literally
stop.
becoming the Jets. Before our eyes, you are becoming the Jets.
So anyway, everybody, so much to talk about as we see the light at the end of the tunnel for 2025. Hold on to your hats. We've got a lot to talk about. Plus, it's already time to start prepping for the spring market, which will be here before we know it since... Oh, it's almost Thanksgiving, which I can't even believe I'm saying that.
I'm still eating Halloween candy. Let's not talk about turkey because I'm going to have to up the 36s to I don't even know what.
And everybody, can you believe we actually survived a full year of Michael with a podcast microphone? Although with this intro in the start, I apologize sincerely.
It wasn't a full year, Jen, because we kind of took the past quarter off.
We took like 2 months off, I think. 2 or 3.
I think the last one was 420.
It was hard. It was not 420.
Are you sure about that?
Yes.
My short-term memory is
And then I thought because football season was here, I would have to stop hearing about the Super Bowl and the Eagles, which we did talk about ad nauseum in the entire 2025 run-up to the football season. Me thinking, well, the Giants beat them 1 out of 2, and they're not that great this year.
I mean, it's not my fault you used the word flying in the first line of the opening. What do you think that's gonna do?
You added that part.
When you say,
is that
how
why you
this year is
literally
flying by.
Is that really why you added that part?
I mean, you're going to go flying. I'm going to give you a
added
fly.
that part. Oh my God, you added that part. Oh my gosh. Anyway, lots to cover today. We're diving into the market updates, what's ahead for 2026, and how to get ready for what's shaping up to be a busy spring. So it's going to be a good podcast. And I'm sure you're all waiting with bated breath, as usual. No, you can't. Do not derail anything.
Go.
Can you please just
focus? Why don't we just dive right into the rant and right now and we just skip all
No.
that?
Can you focus?
Give the people what they want, Jen.
Can you focus? Can you first... They're all waiting for bated breath. It's time for your intro song. Why did you choose what you choose? Which I can't even really remember what it was because you've just totally derailed all of it.
Because tag team back again. Here we are doing our podcast again after,
Justin's here, which we haven't seen him either in a while.
Sabbatical. The word of the year, sabbatical.
Sabbatical is your word.
Took a little sabbatical, little hiatus.
Well, we've been busy.
We have been busy.
And, we're trying to keep it interesting, keep you off the mic as much as I can.
Why, you don't want me to talk about...
Can we get serious?
Okay.
So we're getting ready for what's shaping up to be a busy spring, Michael, aren't we?
Well,
if you don't want to talk about...
Well, we're still wrapping up a busy fourth quarter.
Yeah.
On the heels of a busy third quarter.
But we have felt like that this fourth quarter has become a much more traditional fall market. I mean, we're starting to fall back into traditional markets, traditional seasons, which if you had asked us, we've both been in the business 25 years. If you had asked us 8 years ago, 7 years ago, we could lay out how the markets will go based on the season. And then COVID hit and it got thrown all over the place for a while. And this is the first year where we've really felt like we're falling into a more traditional market, right?
Well, kind of. We had yes.
A more traditional real estate market.
We had the pandemic market craze.
Call it frenzy.
Right.
Where we had no summer, no spring. It all was nutty.
Yeah, fourth quarter of 2020, 2021 exploded. 2022, 23, 24, last June, pandemic market wrapped up. Last June, I felt like was when we saw.
We had a very traditional July, August.
We had our what felt like a very traditional, normal spring market, and it's fallen back into that rhythm. So,
but
yes.
This spring we did still. There's still the low supply, pent up demand. We had a lot of listings when priced strategically were really pushed. We're not seeing that much this fall. We're much more traditional this fall, wouldn't you say? If not a little quiet.
I mean, we're mopping up.
Is that what we're calling it?
Yeah,
we're mopping up.
We're mopping up.
What are we mopping up?
2025.
But still with very little inventory.
Very little inventory. We're seeing houses sit on the market that are overpriced, right? Mm-hmm. They're appropriately priced. They go up. They get sold. Sometimes we're still seeing multiple bid situations, cash, no contingencies.
I mean, look what happened with Christy and I on Beaumont Road in Berwyn.
You guys crushed that. CJ crushed that.
Yeah.
You crushed that. Those orchids are just...
But that was showing you that
El Toro,
different
she's
East
got
Town.
These orchids, right?
They're my own orchids, my dining room table orchids, which Lorraine bought.
They were
pot.
requested for the staging. And then
they took them off my table.
And then the house sold right away. And
Why
then
are we talking about the orchids?
CJ was like, didn't bring the orchids back. She took them to the next house for that staging, and then the next house for that staging.
Ooh.
So that's the other thing that I think separates what we do is a lot of people have stagers that was like, oh, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, you need to call my friend. She's a stager, right? Like, and we have that too because we're not experts.
We can't be everywhere all the time.
But we also have a barn full of staging supplies.
A storage barn, yeah.
And so we will come in our prep, which we're going to talk to in today's episode of Real Estate Ramblings.
After we derail.
So we'll come in, right? You call us El Toro. You're like, hey, I'm going to list my house. Come in. We can help in the prep stage with our
At
own,
no cost.
with our own.
That's perfect.
Staging.
In other words, as part of listing the house, you're not paying us extra for furniture and or
No, it's just part of the service we provide. Now, we're not going to come in, we don't have enough. Like, we're not going to come in new construction and like stage your entire model, right? But we have a fair amount that like between what a seller currently has and what we have, we can mix and match and we can elevate.
Scale up.
Yeah, scale up like that. And scale up, do the prep, photograph the house, hopefully sell the house, pull our staging out, move it on to the next one. So anyway, the orchid's been moving around quite a bit since the end of Q3 and Q4.
I just got it back. Amin sent me a brought it out of jail photo and he delivered it back to me out of the last house.
I think they were feeling like it was the good luck charm because Beaumont, right?
So that was my point. The point was that what happened with Beaumont felt like the old market, but you're also in two different Easttown schools. Your walk to the elementary school.
But that seller...
And we had a seller, who bought in. So we had a seller who bought into every recommendation that Christy and I had. They allowed us to get rid of their furniture. They packed early. They painted where we wanted to paint. They probably spent about $25,000 total on their house, and then we brought in the furniture. But my point being, we were listed at $1,395,000, which we felt like was a strategic number, but you couldn't push it too high. And we closed at $1,600,000. So they got their $25,000 back.
Any inspections?
Tenfold, no inspections.
Any contingencies?
No contingencies.
And you got your orchid back?
And I got my orchid after 3 more houses came back to my dining room. Yes, and I got my orchid back. But my point being is...
But you crushed it for that neighborhood.
That seller buying in was one point, because I think that without that buy-in, the way the house looked, it needed a refresh to get that kind of number, one. And then two... is that we're still seeing a little bit of that, but they allowed us to price that house. They wanted over 1.5, but they understood that they couldn't put it over 1.5.
Why not?
Because over 1.5 was probably where it would have gotten pushed in a more COVID type market, but you can't price it at that number. You've got to put it at a number where you exceed the buyer's expectations walking in the door, and when you exceed enough buyer's expectations with the tweaking we did, we were able to get a lot of people involved and wanting that house.
Can I explain a little bit of the strategy of that a little more in depth?
Even if I said no, you would. So go ahead.
Correct. So, for instance, like if we think the house is going to get pushed to say 9 or 8, 859, right? And like, oh well, but the list price really is $695. Right? Mm-hmm. But we think it's going to get pushed.
We think.
We need but you need to market to do that. Because sometimes when you price close to where you think it's going to land, the market stops because the buyers are factoring in still. Like if you're at 8, shit, I'm going to have to go to 950. And it's not a 950 house. So they kind of back off. So you still need to be very strategic about the list price, even if you think, hey, it's going to get pushed, because you just don't know how high it's going to get pushed. So you don't want to overshoot and overprice, because buyers are still functioning in a lot of our ultra competitive markets where there's limited inventory and people want to be in, because of schools like TE, Tredefferent, Easttown. They're factoring in like, I'm going to have to bid this up. So if you come out of the gate too high and they're like, well, it's 9 and I'm going to have to go to $1,050,000, but it's really a 9 house. Like you're going to shrink your pool of potential buyers and you're going to take some of the hot air out of the balloon and it's going to come down.
What do you say to sellers when they tell us why are you underpricing my house?
We're not.
We're not. What are we doing?
We're pricing it strategic. We're strategically pricing your home based off of the recent comparables.
That's the key. Is it's based off the recent comparables. So really, it's not exact science, but we're trying to properly price the property.
Right, and
Say that five times fast.
If you do it correctly, in the market we're still in certain areas, yes, you will get the most amount of traffic, which will bring the most offers through the door, and the buyers will ultimately set the number.
Yeah, the market's going to set the number.
It's not that you underpriced it.
No.
I mean, underpricing it would be just that, underprice it. But, you're appropriately pricing the home for today's market, and if you do that, there's a buyer out there that's got to have it. And the fear of loss, they will drive it up.
So let's go back to what started this conversation, which is...
The Eagles?
No, it was not the Eagles, and it wasn't the Giants beating the Eagles either. It was the feeling that we're falling into a more traditional market. Our real estate markets are becoming a little more traditional. So now we're in the fall. Where are rates?
6.
Rates, but they're coming down.
They just came down.
So do you think that's going to affect our spring?
I mean, I don't know. Rates haven't really been impacting our
At all.
buyer pool at all.
No, at all.
I mean, even when they were up, buyers were still buying. People still in their homes. People are still creating families. People are still relocating for work. Like, there's all these variables that come into buying or selling. It's still happening. We still have a lack of inventory. We still have the boomers that are not moving to the next spot as quickly as maybe we would like them to, which would bring in more inventory. And actually, I had a really interesting conversation with our friend Joe Macchione.
I guess
Cross
shout
country.
out to Joe, not
Joe.
that he listens, one of our few listeners, yes. Joe's really smart guy, right in the thick of it. What was Joe saying?
We were talking about the boomers. And we were talking about how our business this year was probably a third silver tsunami. Boomers.
I love that you quote my silver tsunami.
Boomers.
Awesome.
It was part of a
Podcast.
So
Go ahead.
I'm footnoting a previous episode where we discussed the silver tsunami,
Which is
the boomers that were going to flood the market all at once, and there were going to be all these available homes, and it was going to help with the lack of inventory. And I think this past year, you and I felt that a third of our business was just that.
easily,
right?
if not more.
Yeah, and
Half
the
almost.
pandemic slowed it up, right? Because the pandemic slowed certain people from moving. But I think where Joe and I were talking last night was a lot of our sellers, I can think of my family friend who they didn't go to like an assisted living place. They went to an apartment
Like a townhouse downsized
community that is a lot of the same
ilk. Yes.
same parish, same downsizers. But in our general geographic area, there isn't a lot of that available.
Not at all. That's one niche market that we definitely do not have enough of.
And there's
around
not
us.
there's not a lot of ground to build it
There
up.
aren't first floor master type smaller houses. We don't have the space to put it. Where are we going to put it? But the need and demand for it's huge.
Well, and some of the stuff that they would have potentially downsized into pre-pandemic, the prices made sense. So they would sell their place in Chesney Downs for $7, and they would get a rancher on Edan or Hunters or whatever for $3.
At the most.
Now the ranchers
$5.
on Edan, they're $5.50.
Yeah, $550.
So with an interest rate of 6, if they're not paying cash, right? And you're trading at 7, all the fees of that transaction, and then all the fees of the purchase, like that's not the move they're making anymore. So we were talking about that, and then he had Joe. I mean, Joe's super smart, and he was talking about other incentives that the federal government could do to incentivize the boomers and the silver tsunamis
To move.
to move. Like if
Almost like almost like the old home first home buyer credit?
Similar. It was like, so if you're selling your primary residence, you're of a certain age, and you're not buying another home, you're going into a rental. So you're not becoming part of the, shrinking of inventory because you're a buyer, but you're adding
You're removing yourself from the buyer pool.
yeah, but you're adding your house to the pool inventory.
Yeah.
No capital gains. What is the first 500, and then everything after that? So if you're like,
If you've been in your house since
I
1970.
mean, yeah, if you bought your house for $20,000 and a stick of gum,
Yeah.
and now you're selling
it's like, what did you pull up? 8600 Seminole, which is on the market right now.
Like
Shout out to Mark Hammerberg, but I think they bought the house
1971 for
I thought it was 21,000.
It was ridiculous.
And now it's on the market for 2.8. Yeah. So it's like, yeah, it's just it's crazy.
You wouldn't pay capital gains, and you'd get like a $50,000 credit
towards
taxes? Towards
that's a lot.
I don't know, whatever. I thought it was like, damn.
I think it's a great idea. Because we're having a hard time getting them out of their houses. We're having a hard time getting them out of rentals. I mean, it's crazy. Well, it's also the cost.
I don't want to talk about the rentals.
But it's also, which is, we're not going to solve on a podcast, but it's also the cost of healthcare. It's the cost of going into one of these assisted living type places that's just so astronomical. And how much does insurance cover and how much does it not? And most people can't afford them anymore. I mean, they're crazy expensive. So now these people are renting.
Let's not get political. Everything's crazy expensive.
Okay, so tell us about rates. You studied up on rates today, Michael. Tell us about rates.
They're at 6. Not sure if we're going to see another Fed rate reduction in the meeting in December.
But don't we feel like that's kind of a normal range? I mean, they're
6.
never going to get down to the nutty 2 and 3s. That's just unrealistic. It was unrealistic.
Never say never, Jen.
It was unrealistic.
You never know.
Okay.
But
I feel like
correct.
6 is more normal.
I mean, if we get like 5, 5.5. But then again, hello, newsflash. It's not leading to more inventory.
No.
So we're still having the same, like the rate for the markets that we do the majority of our business in, there's still an abundance of buyers for the limited amount of inventory. Yep. So people are still waiving their financing. Mm-hmm. So this rate talk, I mean, it's like, whatever.
I mean, so much so that the Pennsylvania Association of Realtors just tweaked the agreement of sale to where we now have 3 options, where it's a total waive your mortgage contingency, it's elect your mortgage contingency, or it's just, and waiving allows you to still get a mortgage, but you're not going to be contingent on it, or it's I'm not getting a mortgage at all, it's cash, and you're staying in the deal no matter what.
So wait, so I can elect to have a mortgage contingency.
Correct.
I can
waive
or
correct.
I can decline.
Yeah, it's something like that.
If you decline, you're really paying cash.
Yeah, you can't.
If you waive,
so if you decline, you not only are paying cash, but you cannot get a mortgage to where that seller has to have an appraisal.
Correct. So if I waive, I'm not making my financing contingent. However, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, based upon the BFI, the pre-approval, whatever I furnish you, I may be getting some form of financing for a portion of the transaction, and therefore an appraiser is going to have to come to your house, and you're still going to have to cooperate.
Cooperate with me to get the appraiser through the house. However, it's not contingent on that.
Elected is...
It's contingent.
It's contingent me getting my financing all the way through settlement.
Yep.
So what happens, Jen, then if I lose my job, I'm the buyer, I've elected.
Did you elect your mortgage contingency?
Yes. And I then can't get my mortgage the day of closing.
You have a right to terminate and get your deposit monies back based on the way the mortgage contingency is written because your financial position has changed.
So if you elect, if I'm a seller, I take a deal with mortgage contingency, I'm not out of the woods until my check's in my hand.
Correct. Have you ever had that happen? I had it happen once.
No.
It happened to me once 3 days before
I don't want to
closing.
talk about it too much.
But you want to know what I did on that one transaction, which you're going to laugh at?
Let me guess. Because right now I'm hearing Hercules.
No.
She's
It's not. No.
Hercules.
No, I had an under contract bubble on that sign. And Michael knows that I will refuse to put a sold or under contract bubble on a sign ever.
Or even remove
that's why.
a sign prior to the day.
And that's why. Because it's a total jinx.
Says you.
It's a total jinx. But I did have that happen. The guy lost his job 4 days before closing. Terminated.
It's brutal.
Yeah, I did have it. And I remember the house too. It's funny how those things stick with you. Anyway.
So what's coming this spring, Jen?
Yeah, anyway, the spring, Michael. It's just going to say the spring, Michael. So how are sellers preparing for the spring market, or how are we preparing our sellers for the spring market now? So it's a really good time. Everybody, it's starting to get cold. You're in your homes. It's a good time to start emptying out your closets, right? It's a good time to start packing early.
Purge.
It's a good time to get the painting done that we have on the list. I mean, we give, as a lot of our longtime listeners, we have like 0. A lot of our longtime listeners know, we give a honeydew list to our sellers, and that honeydew list is kind of like honeydew A, B, and C. And here, A is the most important. You have to do these really if you want our advice. This should be what you do. B, hey, this would be great if you get to. And C, wow, you are just amazing if you do all 3 of these.
So prep now.
So prep now. You can do a lot of your prep now, especially your inside prep, right? Calling some service providers, getting that stuff accomplished. Mostly you're packing early, purging early, getting rid, cleaning out, all that stuff. Because a lot of the outside stuff you're going to wait to do, right?
So all the P's.
All your... Yeah.
Purge,
yes.
paint, prep.
Yes.
Before you get into photos and price.
Well, yeah, because by the time we go to list, let's call it March, we sit down again with them, because it's like, what is our competition currently on the market? What has happened between now and March as far as what's sold for what prices, right? And so we sit down again with our sellers, because we're a team, and we go through it again of, hey, we're still good at this number. Wow, you've made great progress. Here's what else we got to get done. Or, hey, we might have to adjust this number because 123 Main Street sold for more than we thought, or less than we thought, between now and that time.
So why are you saying March? Because I thought the Super Bowl Sunday
Traditionally.
was the kickoff of spring market.
Traditionally. The kickoff of the spring market is usually around Super Bowl Sunday.
And so
we
what
say
happens
that
then?
is because most people at that time start to focus in on the spring.
On
and
what they're
start to
gonna do.
we're focusing on what they're going to do, because we're coming into hopefully warmer months. Now, the other thing that can change that is we have seen when we have a really cold, really snowy winter, which we haven't had in a while.
I think the Farmer's Almanac has us slated for like a lot of snow this year.
Really?
Yeah, just
Well, when we
getting
have-
my snowblower worked on, getting ready.
The snowblower that since you've gotten it, we haven't had to use it one iota because we haven't had enough snow. That snowblower? The one you had to have. Yeah, that one. But anyway, if the winter's brutal, and it's still brutal in February, then it gets delayed. And so it comes into March. Most people always say March because it's kind of when you start to see the first flowers. However, we've had Februarys that have been very mild winters where we've seen the spring market really totally trickle.
April showers bring May flowers.
Whatever, you know what I mean. But we have seen where Februarys have been nice enough that it starts to bring out the spring. So we are getting people ready now. And what's interesting is
Do you take photos now?
depends on the house. If the timeline is such that they think it might be a February, March launch, we're worried about it not being green enough. We do take photos.
We
now.
would have already shot.
Yes. And then we also will go in because some sellers will be like, oh, I think I should do a new bathroom floor here to the tune of $3,000. And we'll say, no, let the next guy do that.
$3,000?
I'm using it as an
You didn't
example.
pick the tile.
I'm using it as an example, but sometimes there might be more important things to spend money on. So people do bring us in and say, hey, what about this? What about that? Because some people assume this is important when really this is important. And so we do that now too. And then, yes, February, Super Bowl. If the Eagles are in it, oh, Lord help us. But if the Eagles are in it, it does have a tendency to distract this region.
Dude,
for a longer time.
if the Eagles are in it, the sprinter is going to be doing a cross-country trek. I mean, so the New Orleans was...
Are we really, really doing this right
so
now?
New Orleans was one thing. That was solo, right? And, there were like 8 of my buddies that were, I'll go to the Super Bowl, we'll take the sprinter, I'll go to the Super Bowl, we'll take the sprinter. We win the NFC Championship, and I send a text out, oh, are you in? I'm like, no, I can't do it. So as each passing day went by, like people just kept dropping, people kept dropping, till all of a sudden I was the last man standing. And Blakely was like, who's going to the Super Bowl with you? And I was like, well, nobody. So you're driving by yourself? I was like, yeah. Where are you staying? I'm like, I don't know. Do you have a ticket? I'm working on it. And look how that worked out.
I always see.
So I'm kind of hopeful that since that worked out that well, that maybe this time around I'll actually have like a couple co-pilots. Kevin Hogan, Tim Hogan, Dennis Hart, Chris Phelan, Andy.
One of
Kaplan.
them drove back with you. Who'd you drive back?
Dennis Hart caught a ride with me. I dropped him off in DC, which was great because then I was actually able to get home for the girls' Tuesday morning bus pickup and embarrass them at the bus stop.
I was there. Yep.
Music and flags going. It was great.
Okay, I don't know how we got on this tangent, but you're probably not
talking about Super Bowl Sunday being
taking the Sprinter. But anyway, to circle back.
Or maybe we have the Sprinter shipped.
No, can we?
And then we can
focused?
Fly out, connect with the Sprinter.
You realize
somewhere
you're
out west.
jinxing all of this happening.
Why? I talked about that in these terms last year.
Okay, they're not that good this year.
Says you, 2 and what are you, 2 and 6?
No, I'm not comparing them to the Giants. I'm just saying I don't think they're that great. There's some holes there.
I mean, the Giants, the Skins, and the Cowboys are all playing for who's the worst.
Some holes.
Every team has holes. No team's perfect.
Yeah, the best of the worst is not that great.
Every hole has a team. Every team has a hole.
Michael, we've digressed. We're preparing everybody for the spring market, right?
Prep
right now. The other stuff comes later. But it's all about prepping the house, packing early, purging. And we definitely have come in and talked about what's a priority list and what's not a priority list.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other important thing.
Oh, boy.
Yes, which
Hold on to your hats.
We can now move away from Super Bowl talk and talk about something much more important.
World Series. Who are we going to re-sign?
No, none of that. It's Toys for Tots time.
My really favorite time of year.
It is our favorite time of the year. So this is year 5, 6, something like that. We don't even know. But every year,
it's a lot of fun.
Every year, the Civil Group partners with Toys for Tots. We're doing a drive now. You guys can come to any one of our offices. We've got boxes in every office. We've got a box in Devon. We've got a box here. Mateen's this year. Mateen's Cafe in Chestnut Hill is partnered with us. And I believe there's also a box in their Wayne. I got to double check that. In their Wayne restaurant cafe as well. So everybody out there, we want to take a few minutes to just say, drop off a toy. We'd love to see you. Bring a toy here. Bring a toy down at the main office on Germantown or in any one of the Fox and Roach offices. We have a lot of Toys for Tots boxes around. And they're also in Mateen's Cafe, who has partnered with us this year to get this done. And then December 3rd, which is a Wednesday, in the evening.
Is it the first Stag and Dough Night?
It's the first Stag and Dough Night in Chestnut Hill. We will have a bonfire up by our office off of Highland Ave with Mateen's, who's providing a lot of snacks and hot chocolate.
S'mores.
And you can bring your toy then as well and hang out.
Hit the avenue, do some Christmas shopping. There's carolers.
Yeah.
It's very festive.
So before we signed off, I wanted to make sure, Michael, to talk about...
I didn't realize we were signing off.
Well, you're done.
What do you mean I'm done?
Oh, we're done.
Too much football talk? Let's talk Phillies. How about those Flyers? Looking decent.
Yeah.
Sixers dropped the last
They're both
two.
looking decent.
I mean, they're watchable.
Early. Yeah, it's early. It's early. I'm happy that there's football on still.
Can't wait. Tonight. Who's playing tonight?
Oh, that's a good question. Should I look real quick?
It's probably your Giants and you didn't even know that.
No.
Some fan you are.
I think my thingy just went out. Thursday night football is... Who is it? Why am I not finding it? Broncos Raiders.
Nice.
That's a good game. So anyway, everybody...
Broncos are like...
They're doing really well.
Are they the surprise of the season?
I think they're one of them. There are a couple surprises of the season. I think freaking Indianapolis, unfortunately, is a surprise of the season. Daniel Jones decided to play when he went to Indianapolis.
Oh, yeah.
So I
Had nothing to do with where he was before.
Nothing.
No?
No. Anyway, everybody, you have definitely wasted probably about how many minutes, El Toro? Probably about 25, 28 minutes-ish.
Love you, Mom.
Listening to us today. Thank you so much for listening. If you have any topics you want us to cover, any questions, send us a DM to @thecivil group. Have a wonderful holiday season. Bring a toy, please. And we will see you guys in 2026.
Go Birds.